Time for another coffee with Kilroy, or what sometimes I like to call beverage in a book. My beverage, well, coffee. Yours, well, that is up to you, and it depends on what time of day you are looking at this video. So, what do I have today? What's the book today? Well, this is Down Among the Dead Men by Dave Morris. This is a choose-your-own adventure book, kind of a role-playing adventure, solo role-playing book, where you will roll up a character and take it on an adventure through this book. And so won't be able to do much of a page through as there's spoilers in the book. It's a choose your own adventure. So as you make decisions, you're going to go down different paths, and you don't want to see all those paths up front now, do you? So let's take a look at the back of the book here and move my coffee out of the way just a tad. Okay. So what this says here, war is brewing between the kingdoms of Glorian and Sidonia. And I probably mispronounced them, but it's fantasy, so I can. A war waged for control of the territories of the New World. Galleons laden with gold ply the seas, and in their wake sail pirates and privateers eager for plunder. Adrift in an open boat, you make your desperate bid to escape from the sadistic Captain Scarvench. The odds are stacked against you. Even if thirst, hunger, and storms don't kill you, there are still formidable dangers to overcome in crossing hundreds of miles of uncharted ocean to reach safe harbor. Put yourself at the heart of the story. Be anyone you can imagine. Choose from almost 500 different character types, each with their own unique skills, stories, strong stories, vivid settings, and compelling characters make Critical If the game changer of the, interactive fiction game. So they're calling this interactive fiction game, and this is part of the Critical If series. So I've picked up a couple of books from the Critical If series, and this was the first one. And this is dealing with pirates, so I thought that'd be interesting because I now have a playlist on pirate and pirate games. So check that out if you're interested in seeing how that develops. But this Critical If series looked interesting. As I said, over 500 characters. You don't have 500 different characters in this book. I guess that's total if you look at all the Critical If books. I didn't know there was that many to have 500 different characters. Anyway, let's look in the book as much as we can. We've got a little bit of an introduction here to talk about, to kind of set the mood. We have a map of the New World here. Kind of piratey, Down Among the Dead. This is how to use this book. So Critical If is interaction fiction in which your choices make all the difference. Whether you live or die doesn't depend on luck but judgment. So this is a... again, kind of choose your own adventure, role-playing game type, or they call it interactive fiction game, where you're going to be making choices, and they're going to affect your character, and your character is going to have abilities, like most role-playing games, and you're going to be able to use some of those traits and abilities to help you get through this book. This is all you need to know. This is the intro. This is what you need to do to start your character. You're going to fill in, choose a character, fill in skills. You can carry up to 8 possessions. Consider your selection of skills. They establish your special strengths and will guide your choices in the adventure. So all the typical fare that you would have for a role-playing game. Then here's your adventure sheet. I don't write in books, so I'll probably make a copy of this to jot stuff out. You can choose one of these characters. You have an adventurer, the buccaneer, the changeling, and the gypsy. The changeling looks like it's got some spells there. So swordplay and seafaring and marksmanship are going to be key things here because you are sailing the pirated seas. Oh, we have some more characters here. So you have the mariner, the swashbuckler, and the warlock. Look at that. Here's a glossary of the skills. Agility, brawling, charms, cunning, folklore, marksmanship, roguery, seafaring, spells, streetwise, swordplay, and wilderness. Pretty good set of skills there. Then we have the prologue. So this is getting into the story proper, right? And so you're going to have the prologue. And then at the end of that prologue, you're going to turn to 1. You'll be reading that, and then you're going to start making decisions. So as you see here, I don't want to show too much, but there's going to be numbers, and then each of the entries in this book are going to be is going to correspond to a number, or have a number assigned to it, and then you turn to that number, read that entry, and then based on what happens in that entry, whether you're using some of your abilities and skills or whether you make a decision, it will push you off to another entry or another number, which has a corresponding entry, and then you'll read that and so on until you either succeed or drown, go to Davy Jones' locker. So I can't really show a lot because it's all entries in here. So that's the kind of the problem with doing a Coffee with Kilroy for a looks like there's 427 entries. Doing a Coffee with Kilroy for a Choose Your Own Adventure because you really can't see much, but you got a chance to see, that kind of the character sheet and how characters are created, and that is where that's where I'll end this because it's for you to find out, and I haven't dove into this one yet, but it looked interesting enough, and it's this to me is a decent thickness. If they're too thin, it's like, well, what's the point? And if they're if they're really thick, that's fine, but you're going to be spending a lot of time with it. But this one looks like it's just a good length, depending on what price you pay for this. I got this for relatively cheap, and that's why I wanted to try it out. So anyway, so that's Down Among the Dead on Coffee with Kilroy on a Sci-Fi Fantasy Saturday. Why didn't I say that at the outset? So yeah, this is a twofer, Coffee with Kilroy on a Sci-Fi Fantasy Saturday. So love to know your thoughts on this. If you played this one or any of the other Critical If type games, what do you think, or game books or interactive fictions? What do you think of them? If you don't like Choose Your Own Adventures, then you're probably not going to like this. There is limited gameplay in here, but as I said, there's a pretty good amount of content to alleviate the need of, it's a one and done. Anyway, love to know your thoughts on it. So that's what I have for you today. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you are having a good one, whether it's morning, noon, or night. Take care. Thanks for watching.